Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Clamp Podcast. Today is the part two of our off-season grades. Today is the Western Conference, and let's get to it. So let's start off with the Mavericks. The Mavericks, they gave away Jalen Brunson. I don't know how you want to, rate that. Jalen Brunson didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be the complimentary guard. He wanted to be the big guy. And in New York, I mean, he's pretty much the big guy. I mean, in terms of the guards, I mean, he has to go against Emmanuel quickly. I mean, you could say RJ Barrett's a shooting guard and sometimes, but he's mainly a small forward. So I think Jalen Brunson's gonna be the guy doing all the playmaking, some shooting, all that. Yeah.
I mean, look, as I mentioned in the previous podcast when we were talking about the Knicks, you and I are both big fans of Jalen Brunson.
For sure.
Fantastic player.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
If he is going to be, as Charles Barkley would put it, the bus driver of this
He's
organization.
not the bus driver, first of all.
Well,
RJ Barrett is. I mean, to be honest, not Julius Randle.
Whoa.
Who's the bus driver?
Hold on. You're paying Brunson that much and you're not going to call the guy the main dude? That's the reason he left Dallas.
I think they needed someone, first of all. I think they were begging to get one. And that was one of the only dudes who actually wanted to go.
Okay, but you just pointed out that he wanted out of Dallas not to be a complimentary guard anymore. Now he's going to be that main dude. I hate to break it to Knicks fans. He's still going to be a complimentary guard.
Luka's a point guard, first of all. He plays shooting guard. Jalen Brunson plays shooting guard and a point guard. He's complimentary.
I understand.
We're talking complimentary guards. He's not going to be a complimentary guard anymore.
Of course.
Too quickly, no shot.
Look, I know he's not going to be a complimentary guard. That's why he came to New York. My point is, I think he'll still play like one. I still think on any given, that dude will be better, go down better as a number two option. I think Dallas is a great fit for him personally, where he was the number two option to Luka. He's gone from Dallas now. That's an interesting loss. But we saw the trade very early in the summer for Christian Wood.
For sure. Yeah.
I didn't know about that
like
trade.
that he can shoot, first of all. There's not many centers like Miles. He's kind of like Miles Turner, where he's a stretch and he's got handles. He reminds me of a Jokic, but he's not Jokic level. You know what I'm saying? He's got the same play style. He does the same kind of stuff.
Yeah. I like Christian Wood.
You can't compare Wood to Jokic. That's like a whole different situation on levels, but I'm just saying.
I just think the reason I didn't like Brunson walking away was because Brunson made up just that incredible depth that the Mavericks have when we look at Hardaway, Dinwiddie, I would say Finney Smith is still there.
Yeah, Finney Smith came back on 4 years, $55.6 million. That's a big deal. First of all,
I love the Mavericks, and Luka is my favorite for MVP this year. So
really, your favorite?
He's my favorite.
Number one guy.
I got three. It's either going to be Giannis, Embiid, or Luka. Hot take, I know, but
Luka. Hot take.
No. That's what I'm kidding. Yeah, it's not a hot take.
Big shot.
Okay. All right. Look, I think Luka is going to make that jump though. His IQ is incredible from playing in the Euro leagues, as Xavier Moon pointed out.
We just had our interview with Xavier Moon. Shout out to him.
Yeah, Xavier's great. But look, Mavericks have incredible depth. I say that they're going to make the Western Conference Final this year.
The Mavericks?
Oh yeah,
really?
They're coming back. They're going back.
Really? Okay.
Where do you take them?
I don't see them going to the conference final.
Actually, it's hard to say because look, obviously your conventional picks for the West is Warriors or the Clippers. Fine, I'll backtrack that. I don't know if I see them in the conference finals. I see them definitely making a play at it. They could give either the Warriors or Clippers a very hard time.
It is a very hard guess in where any team would go, first off, because we don't know who they're running against. The Clippers and Mavericks historically in the last years have been a very, very big rivals, and it doesn't really end up very well for the Mavericks. I mean, they've lost both series where they've gone against the Clippers. So I'm just saying, I'm not sure if we're I don't know, because again, this is Luka with more experience under his belt. He's got a big in Christian Wood. He was lacking that with Kristaps 2 years ago, and
you love Kristaps.
I don't like him, first off.
No, I see your point. Look, it's all, first of all, for the Clippers, all about staying healthy. The Clippers did beat them. They got John Wall now. All I'm saying is just I think the Mavericks can be scary because, as you said, Luka, I think he's going to come back even better. He's my favorite for MVP.
All right.
Moving on to the Denver Nuggets. No, I think that this is another team, just like the Mavericks, that could be arguably a dark horse to come out of the West. Don't laugh.
Did I laugh?
Mm.
I just
I heard a
grunted.
laugh.
I was a grunt.
Why are you grunting?
Jordan, would you like to? Can the editor?
Why are you grunting, Burke?
Because I don't agree with it.
Okay,
Go on. Go with your spiel.
look. The Nuggets are an incredibly depth team. So they've got a lot of depth. Look, Jokic, Supermax extension. I love that
It
move.
was a crazy deal, though. That was a massive
5 years,
deal.
$264 million.
Something like that,
yeah. No, it was a big deal. But Jokic, back-to-back MVPs, you can make that argument. He is that guy. Now I think Embiid should have won, but whatever. Jokic has proved himself day in and day out. The dude is a top 3 player in the league. Absolutely.
I mean, but can he do in the CBL? I'm just saying.
Maybe. I mean, Xavier Moon can do it.
Moon's a 3-time MVP. He has the trophy inspired by him with the X.
Once again, shout out Xavier Moon.
Yeah,
we'll
we
do
love
that
you,
every.
Xavier.
We'll do that occasionally. Look, I love the addition, as I mentioned. Well, I don't love it, but
Bruce.
it happened. Bruce Brown.
Yeah, Bruce.
Pains me to talk about it. But Bruce Brown and Aaron Gordon will make up such a good defensive duo.
Yeah, and I think with Jamal Murray and Bones Highland, I like Bones Highland a lot.
You got Jamal Murray coming back.
Yeah, he was scary in the bubble. Really, really
So
scary.
you got 2 offensive powerhouses in Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, and then you've got a defensive duo in Aaron Gordon and Bruce Brown, both of who also can get buckets. Now, they did lose Monte Morris. You do know how I feel about Monte Morris. He's elite. Anyway,
elite player.
they also got DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan, I don't know what you're still doing in the league.
He might be out the team midway. I mean, midway through the season.
He's going to throw a football pass and get out. Yeah,
for sure.
DeAndre Jordan, I don't know what you're still doing in the league. Please come on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm not sure if I agree with the Nuggets being a dark horse. It really just depends on what Jamal Murray's feeling like. If he goes back to being before the bubble, where he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but he's not elite like bubble where he was. Where
I'm not saying he's going to return to the bubble. I'm just saying he can be in a.
If he returns to the bubble level, in my opinion, he would be.
If he returns to the bubble level, and you
bubble
and shut up. If you put bubble level Jamal Murray with Nikola Jokic, I think of course they're going to win the West, but it's unrealistic to say that he's going to come back at that level. All I'm saying is when healthy, I put him as a top 20 player in the league.
Jamal Murray?
Yeah.
Top 20?
I put him top 20.
All right. Settle down. I don't agree with that at all.
Thanks, Burke. Thanks, Burke.
That is blasphemous. That is blasphemous.
That's why we do this.
Yeah, for sure. But let's move on to the Warriors. Reigning champions.
Don't need to remind me.
Yeah, for sure. Well, they lost some crucial guys at the bench. Gary Payton and Otto Porter. That's big.
Will Chamberlain?
Look, that's big. That's really, really big. And I think that's really okay. You gotta relax. You gotta relax.
Pause.
But Gary Payton is he's a beast. I mean,
Gary Payton's
he's a hard-nosed player. That's what you need in the NBA right now. And Otto Porter is, Will Chamberlain.
I agree. Both very good defenders. Both guys who play the game the right way. They're just very hard on defense and tough guys to get buckets on. So I think that's a loss. But I have learned one thing in my years of fandom with the NBA. Never count out the Warriors front office.
For sure.
To have
the deals they make,
that level of dominance throughout the 2010s and then go and draft as well as they have done, just incredible.
For sure. I mean, I completely agree.
Here's my issue. It's next season. Draymond expects a max.
Yeah, I don't.
Jordan Poole expects a max.
Max?
Max? And Andrew Wiggins expects a max.
I don't think Jordan Poole's getting the
No,
max.
they do. And the problem is the Warriors can't pay all 3 of those guys. One of them is going to go. If I am the Warriors front office, it's not even a thought. Draymond Green goes.
Jordan Poole's gone, first of all. Jordan Poole's a great player, and I think he's great for the future, but if he's expecting a max, there's no way I could do that.
Yeah.
There's no way.
But do you choose Poole over Wiggins?
No. I think Wiggins is what you need right now. They're a win-now team. It's not like they can invest in the future with Curry and Clay being older. I mean, they aren't in their 20s anymore.
I mean, look, the Warriors are just so solid. They've got Kuminga.
Yeah, Moody. Moody's balling out the summer league.
He
You see
is.
that?
Yeah.
Oh my, he can't. There's no reason for him to be playing that. I mean, it was like child's play out there. I mean, it was.
Yeah. No.
It was. But it was crazy, and I think the Dante DiVincenzo pickup was good for. It was real bargain. Honestly, it was really it wasn't like a massive deal at all, and
they got James Wiseman returning too.
Oh yeah, I really like him as a player. As I said, I like my stretch fives and I like my stretch fours. The big man that can shoot is the future of the NBA. And I think he's, especially him being so young, he's great for the future.
Okay. The Houston Rockets. It's now we're entering the second year of one of the worst trades I've seen in recent NBA history. I mean, I can't blame that at all in the Nets front office because you saw an opportunity to make the team better. It didn't work out. However, the amount of opportunity to get a solid young core that the Rockets got from that trade when James Harden wanted out, the Rockets continued to add to this young core. Okay, so they got 3 first-round picks this year.
Very, very good picks as well. They did not mess
they
up.
drafted very well.
These guys all, I think most of them were supposed to be in the lottery before the season started.
Mm-hmm.
And especially Jabari Smith.
Jabari Smith is going to be great.
I don't know. The thing about Jabari for me is he's too much of a spot-up shooter. He can't create a shot, which he can. That's definitely a fix. But I don't think he's really as gifted as a dribbler. He's a very good three-point shooter, though.
I agree. But don't you think it'll help his game playing with guys like Jalen Green?
For
APJ?
sure. I mean, those guys, that's their whole game.
That's their game. That's their specialist.
That's what I'm saying. It's definitely a quick fix. And I think, it's a perfect spot for young guys to go. I think they're all young. I mean, the whole team's young. And they just got rid of John Wall. So, I mean, it's a really, really young team.
I like the position that the Rockets are in. Well, where do you see them ending the season?
They aren't going to do much. They're too young.
It's a rebuild.
It's
gonna be a process for them, but they have a very bright future.
But I think like Jalen Green, Sengun, and I really like Tari Eason. I mean, as Katie said, it's a wings league, and he's great. He's so athletic. And Ty Washington, oh my God. I mean, before the season started, I thought he was gonna be a lottery pick. I mean, it was kind of a crummy March Madness for him that really
Yeah, that lowered his draft value
for sure. I mean, it tanked it.
But okay, we looked at the perspective of the Christian Wood trade to Mavericks. How do you see it from the Rockets' perspective?
I think it was okay because I think they were paying him a lot, first of all. And I think that they're going for a rebuild. He's, I think, like 27, 26 right now. I don't really see him as more of a rebuild guy, especially with Sengun coming in. You got Usman Garuba, Tari Eason. Those guys are, going to fill the forward and center spots. So I think he was just gonna, he's gonna fall out because they aren't a win now team. And I think it's kind of mutual as well, because I don't think he want to be part of a rebuild where he's not going to be really used in a run in the playoffs for another 3 years.
I agree. I think they utilized it well, where they've just, obviously with all these draft picks, they've just collected the right group of guys who are ready to build from the ground up. Because, yeah, Christian Wood wants to be put in a win now situation. And I think Dallas is a good place to go. As we mentioned, that is a team with a ton of potential to win this season and these next few. Great front office. Although, Mark Cuban has his own question. Huh?
You don't like him?
I think he doesn't accept the right bids on Shark Tank. All right.
All right. On to my Clippers. Again.
First of all, Xavier Moon.
Xavier.
He looks great.
Great. I mean,
he looks ready.
It was great to have him on. Great. We can't understate that. I mean,
we can't thank him enough.
Can't thank him enough. But moving on to the Clippers. They are one of the favorites, if not the favorite, to win the championship.
No, you're not the favorite. You're one of my favorites.
Xavier said it. You not?
Xavier did say it.
Look, I think if the team stays healthy, this is always the question every year. Every single year. Can Kawhi and PG stay healthy? That's the whole thing. But the thing is, they won't. But it comes playoff time is when we really need them. If we look, in the ideal situation where Kawhi and PG stay healthy, we win it. I'm saying on that, we win it. We win it. But if there's like chippy stuff where one's knees blow out or something like that, like one tears his ACLs out for the year, we aren't winning it. That's just flat out like how it's gonna go.
Here's my worry with the Clippers. As you said, on paper, probably you can argue that they're the favorite. You've got superstars like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and John Wall. That on paper, sure, that's your favorites. And you know this very well. You and I both watched that playing game against the Timberwolves, and I don't need to remind you, but what I'm saying is, and I think you would agree with this, that exposed kind of a lack of depth.
Yeah, but Kawhi wasn't there. I'm talking about the ideal situation.
What I'm saying is, look, you just mentioned that Kawhi might not stay healthy. So what I'm saying is the Clippers still need to be in a position to win, even when their superstars still need to be in a position to win. So, by the way, I think, yeah, does Reggie Jackson have what it takes to win?
Look, this is not just Reggie. We're talking about John Wall. We don't know which John Wall we're getting as well. We don't know. We haven't seen him play. He's just taking all the money. We haven't seen him play.
Well, let's see how he does. Let's see how he does.
The thing is, they're a big question mark. You can't. This is tough. This is really a tough team to give an analysis. I think their offseason was fine. They didn't do much.
Well, that's my question mark. We don't know how good their depth is, and now they're extending all these guys like Robert Covington, and Zubac.
I mean, to be honest, like, is that what we're reporting on? If we're talking about championships, I'm not sure if like the bottom of the bench is really what we should be talking about.
Because what I'm saying is the Clippers have a health issue. They always have.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying.
So you need depth, and that's what I worry about with the Clippers. My Nets never had it when all of our players went down and got unvaxxed and went on spiritual journeys. But the team needs depth. Look, I give their offseason
okay, whatever. All the Knicks fans who say Isaiah Hartenstein is gonna be their center. No, he's not.
Go back.
No,
to Taj
he's
Gibson.
not.
Go back to Taj Gibson is what I'm saying.
Did he just retire or something? Did Taj Gibson retire? Did he really? I think he retired. Yeah.
Bring back Taj Gibson.
Get him back. Get him the max.
Super max.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But look, I think the draft one, they didn't do much in the draft, but I think Moussa Diabate is actually is a good player.
He's a good player.
Again,
he looked good in summer league.
I'm saying he's a raw player. That's what I've been saying about all these wings. All these wings are so super raw. They're super tall, lengthy, all these dudes. But the problem with them is they need to develop in the right system. And I'm not sure. We saw with Fiondu Kabengele, the guy who's supposed to be a really good forward and / center. He didn't go in the right system, and he ended up leaving. So I'm not sure. I mean, again, in the ideal situation, I see them winning the chip. If it doesn't go right, I see them making the playoffs, first round, second round exit. If Kawhi's hurt, I just don't see it.
Moving on to the biggest disappointment in basketball last season, your crosstown rivals, the Los Angeles Lakers. Just really disappointing season from the vets. We expected so much more from Russell Westbrook.
For sure.
But I think he still gets overhate.
That's what I'm saying. I think the interviews where you're saying his family can't even go to the games because there's so much criticism, that's too much. That's way too much. A joke here and there about him being, a brick or something like, okay, sure. But Westbrook, it's not the right system for him. He's the team. He's a one player person. He's just a one player team. Being around AD and LeBron and all these other guys where you got to pass the ball, it's not his play style, and it's systematic basketball.
I think that's where the criticism stemmed from, though, because to be an elite point guard, as we all know him to be, you got to be an insane passer. Sure. You got to share the ball. But look, I agree. The system that he's in didn't really work, so I think the team needs to take some heat for not exactly
For sure.
right.
And yeah,
But
LeBron is re-signing.
LeBron 2-year deal, so LA's
Yeah.
got 3 more years with LeBron as of today. They did lose Malik Monk to the Kings.
Yeah, that's tough. He was really good last year.
He
I
added
really
to their
liked him.
depth.
He had a couple games where he dropped a lot of points, and especially like Lonnie Walker coming in from the Spurs. He's a good player. He's good for the depth, and that's what they kind of need. They need guys off the bench. JTA, Juan Toscano Anderson, who the Warriors lost. He's also one of the dudes off the bench that the Warriors needed. And okay, why are you giving me that look?
No, not.
I thought you were giving me that look where you're like you're wrong.
No look given. No look given. Look, I think that you are right. I think that, I liked the addition of Lonnie Walker.
For sure. I mean, it's not someone you're gonna be like over the top enjoyed about, but I think he's
No, I loved it. I
All right.
loved that addition. Loved it. Yeah. I think it was an okay offseason for them. I think it was.
That's a lot of money to Braun.
Look,
by the way.
they're just.
But I mean, it's Braun.
It's
First
Braun,
off.
dude.
What's that, 2 years, 100 million or something like that?
Yeah, but of course they're gonna. But what we're not talking about, obviously, is the new coach, Darvin Ham, and
Yeah.
he's going to run the offense with LeBron's approval, the GM,
Yeah.
the clown.
Mickey.
LeMickey.
Yeah.
He's got LeBron's approval to run the offense through Anthony Davis, which is smart. But same with the Clippers, same with every team. Health is a priority with a guy like Anthony Davis. He needs to stay healthy.
Of course. I mean, look, the thing with Anthony Davis, where we got that report saying he hadn't touched the ball in like months.
That wasn't a big deal to me.
I mean, the thing is, if I'm Anthony Davis, there's more I need to prove. He hasn't proved his career, and I think Anthony Davis is a massive talent. He needs to be working every single day. He needs to. And he might be. I'm not talking to him right now. Never talked to Anthony Davis.
You haven't reached out.
We would love to have him on the podcast. If you're watching this, Anthony Davis, please come on. But the thing is, Anthony Davis, he's kind of a question mark, and that's what we'll be saying in that video. He's a question mark because he hasn't been healthy.
He's unproven.
He got a chip with the Lakers in the bubble, but do we really count that? No. But the thing is, on the Pelicans, he was the guy. He was one of the guys.
We know how elite he can be.
Yeah, but he just needs to show it, and I think he needs to become more of more contact. He needs to have more contact in his game where he can take contact.
Oh, thank you
more
for that, Burke.
physical.
Are you saying Anthony
I
Davis
know.
cannot get hurt as much?
No, I'm saying no. I'm not saying that. You've been mistaken.
I'd be mistaken.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he needs to be able to get to the basket better. I think that's what I'm saying. I think when he gets to the basket, he needs to be able to take more contact. He can't just rely on the 3-point ball, not track back on defense, and just not give all the effort. And look, if he's dealing with injuries, it makes sense. If you're playing through injuries, it's tough to do all these things. But if 100% healthy Anthony Davis, which we've seen on the Pelicans, you have to be able to get to the paint and shoot threes. You have to just be more fluid as a player. They brought back Ja Morant. That's pretty much their offseason. That was the headline of their offseason. Bringing in Ja Morant is massive. They brought him into the rookie max, where I think it was like 5 years, 195, something like that. Yeah, I mean, he's incredible. He's one of the top talents. He's super athletic. I think I was talking with my dad a couple weeks ago, and we were just talking about how athletic he is. He's one of the most athletic dudes in the league.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
And
Ja Morant, athletic? Really?
Look, let me finish.
Okay.
But he's one of the only dudes who really just there's such a barrier in between his athleticism and the dude guarding him, because he's able to jump over anyone. He's faster than anyone. He's that dude, and that there's just so much of a barrier between other players in the NBA and even on his team. I mean, it's crazy.
I got a question for you. Do you think for Ja Morant to actually lead his team with a lot of solid pieces, but as that dude, do you think he needs to mature his game?
Yeah, I think he needs to be better passing, maybe. I mean, maybe Desmond Bain could have gotten a couple more threes last year.
Desmond Bain looked great though
Incredible.
this season.
That the pairing, the trio of John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Desmond Bain is incredible. And then you got dudes like D'Anthony Melton who just got traded, by the way,
To the Sixers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was great last year because he filled a role. He was again systematic basketball. He filled a role, and he's able to come in when John Morant had to sub out. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Zaire Williams, I'm not sure what happened with him from last year. I didn't really see him too much. He kind of was bouncing around the rotation, bouncing around the team. I'm not sure. He's definitely an athletic wing. He's good. But I'm not sure if we're going to see too much of him this year, especially if they're trying to make a playoff push. You can't be relying on guys who have little experience. But John Morant, he's a guy with not too much experience. What is he going to, his junior year or senior year in the NBA or something like that? He showed a lot of maturity. Yeah. And
I agree.
Yeah. That's all I can really say. Desmond Bain's contract was cool. It was a lot of money as well, but yeah.
I agree. Okay, moving on to a pretty complicated team this offseason.
Yeah.
The Minnesota Timberwolves. Look, I think you'd be a fool not to see that Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns can be elite. These guys, now that Karl Anthony Towns doesn't really have to play that role at the 5 that much anymore.
Yeah.
I think we can really see a whole new level of Karl Anthony Towns. And I think this is a lot better of a fit for Rudy Gobert. So that duo defensively is going to be elite. And I think Karl Anthony Towns can really step up his game.
Yeah, but Rudy, I'm not sure.
Are you mad they gave up P-Bev?
No. First off, the amount of disrespect he gave to the Clippers after what we've done for his career is crazy. But moving on from that, that's a whole different episode. He's seen all the stuff I've talked about Pat Bev. But look, Rudy Gobert has continuously through years in the NBA not shown his ability to show up in the playoffs. He's not a playoff dude.
That's true.
First off, touching the mics. That's first off, touching the mics. The league's done. That's my first mistake.
I'm sure you're upset about that.
My first anger with Rudy.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I agree. He has failed to show up in the playoffs before. Not as badly as James Harden.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Look, I have that hate for Pat Bev. You have the hate for James Harden.
Horrible, James Harden. Horrible. Anyway, look. Here's the issue with the Timberwolves. You know what they don't know what to do with? D'Angelo Russell. And I love my boy D'Lo. But
Great.
Not this past season.
No, I'm saying he's
He
great.
disappeared
He's a great player.
in the playoffs. It's kind of an issue for him because they do they decide, okay, D'Lo is the long term. He's our guy. I heard a rumor the other day they were trying to ship him off to New York, trying to get a deal with the Knicks. Oh yeah. With Isaiah as the center.
It's not what the Knicks need.
Well, no, but my question is, if I'm Minnesota, I'm going to keep him because he's close with Karl Anthony Towns. I still think with his career with Minnesota, he did have a bad playoff appearance this year. I still think he's relatively unproven. So I keep him in Minnesota. I give 1 year for this trio to prove it. And if they stay healthy and they don't make it happen, okay. But I still think this trio is unproven. I keep D'Angelo Russell and I see how this works. And also, you have Anthony Edwards.
We haven't talked about it.
We haven't even talked about Anthony Edwards. Yeah. So solid. So I really like this Minnesota team. I think it's filled with a lot of young talent. But I'm going to give it a year. My prediction for them, they get bounced in the West semis. Oh, is that egregious now too?
The semis?
Hold on. Where do you have them?
The Timberwolves.
Yeah.
The semis?
No, Burke. The Lakers. Yes. The Timberwolves in the semis.
Is your semis the Nugget? Did I get this right? The Nuggets and Timberwolves?
Nuggets and Timberwolves, and they get bounced by the Clippers and the Warriors. I don't think that's an egregious take at all.
Wait. Oh, wait, hold on. You're saying the Nuggets or the Timberwolves are going? Either one of them is going to the.
No, what I'm saying is Nuggets and Timberwolves will both lose in the West semis to the Warriors and the Clippers. I don't think that's a ridiculous
I
take.
thought you were talking about the semis where it was just
No,
the Nuggets
no.
and Timberwolves
Anyway,
left.
no.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I agree. I think that's where they could. But again, I don't like D'Angelo Russell on the team. He's a shoot first player. I think they need a floor general. I'm not saying they need Lonzo Ball, but a player like him where he's a floor general, where he can dish the ball. I had to show you how to do it first of all. I had to. No, because you don't pass the ball in 8B basketball.
I shoot it
You just shoot it.
because I'm great.
No, you aren't. First off, no, you aren't. But they need a pass first, dude. I think
They need me.
no, they don't.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Look,
no, they don't.
I personally, okay, can you give D'Lo 1 year to prove himself?
Look, D'Angelo Russell is a phenomenal player, but we don't know which D'Angelo Russell we're talking about. If it's the proven D'Angelo Russell, we're getting the Nets, dude. Yeah, you need. I mean, no one's passing up on that, dude.
I don't think we're getting the Nets D'Lo. Okay, that was an all-star. What I'm saying is, I think on this team with this much talent, with 3 other guys and Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, and Karl Anthony Towns, the guy's going to have to adapt his game one way or another to become a pass-first point guard. So
Look,
give him a chance to. He can be
I'm
elite.
giving him a chance easily.
Give him a chance, Burke. Give him a chance.
I bet. I think. Look, I can't tell the future at all. We can't. But we can't be like the guys being like, "I told you so" or something. We don't know. But
We don't know.
I mean, to be completely honest, if I had to give my best guess, it's D'Angelo Russell is better than he was last year, but not great.
I'm going to say, though, if you and I revisit this topic in 4 years, D'Angelo Russell is still in Minnesota.
He might be. I mean, look, he's not elite like Monte Morris.
Nobody's Monte Morris.
All
Get some water.
right. Look. All right, the Pelicans. First of all, the Dyson Daniels pick I like a lot. Dyson Daniels is one of the highest players on my draft board. I like him being a really tall point guard. We've seen Luka being a tall point guard. We've seen Shea Gilgeous being a tall point guard.
Say it.
What?
Ben.
Nope. I'm not saying it.
Come on.
First off, look, availability is the best ability. And the one dude who doesn't prove it is Ben Simmons. Yet he reaches his settlement with the Sixers getting $20 million.
We'll get back to that.
What
We'll
is
get
that?
back to that. We'll get Burke.
Okay.
We'll get back to it, my brother.
All right. But look, Zion Williamson, the max, he's just unproven. We haven't seen him play.
Come on. You know it's worth it. You know he's elite.
Yeah, but what shape is he in?
He's a good shape.
Yeah, but like
He's back.
look,
He cut out the Popeyes and he's back.
it's more than Popeyes. It was like it was like soul food he was having. Like he's having a lot. He was, it wasn't a great Zion, but we might see the best Zion we've ever seen, by the way, because we haven't seen too much.
That's my take. I think when you have somebody that you know is elite and he's coming back, I think it's worth giving him the max to, just ensure that he's going to be in New Orleans a long time. This is a guy that you want to pair with this young core.
I especially Dyson Daniels. I think the Zion Dyson Daniels would be great.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, especially Lonzo Ball being a floor general, passing the ball to Zion, all that. I really like Lonzo Ball as a player, by the way.
I know.
I really, really like him.
It's look, I like the Pelicans. I like the Pelicans.
a lot.
I think CJ McCollum's going to come back strong.
Yeah.
I think
they're kind of awkward though.
I think BI.
CJ is, I don't know, like 32, 31 now. Yeah, I think
He's that old.
I think he's that old. But look, they're a rebuilding-ish team where they still have a few holes to fill in terms of their offseason, and their bench. But look, I'm just not sure where they are as a team right now, especially with CJ McCollum being older. He's a good veteran though, in terms of look, he's gonna teach the team how to shoot better and become a better player because he's experienced it
I agree.
in Portland.
I agree.
All right.
I think BI is going to come back too.
Oh yeah, BI's a beast.
All right. Moving on to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They went with a pretty conventional draft pick in Chet Holm.
Holmgren.
Chet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Look, Chet can be elite. We're talking about a guy who is 7 feet tall and he is very skilled.
Yeah, he can shoot.
However, he can shoot, he can dribble, he can really do a lot for 7-foot tall center.
He needs a burger.
However, yes, he does. Look, we sat down and watched that Grizzlies Thunder Summer League game, and you know who he was getting bullied by Kenny Lofton. And look, shout out Kenny Lofton. He's a good player. But if you're getting bullied in the Summer League by Kenny Lofton, what do you expect when you're going up against big body centers like Andre Drummond, even DeAndre Ayton? Like these guys, Rudy Gobert, these guys are going to give you the work. Like, I am concerned for the guy.
Yeah.
He needs to bulk up to be a real NBA center. So, look, a lot of potential for Chet. He's got to bulk up. But look, when we talk about young core teams like, Dallas, New Orleans, I think Oklahoma City is definitely in that mix. This team has enough first-round draft picks to survive forever. I like that they have Shai as kind of a piece, I guess, to build around. Josh Giddey had a really good rookie season. I just like where they are right now. We're probably going to have to see that they declined Lou Dort's option.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a terrible move.
He's a good player. No?
Look, he's a good player.
Solid. Very solid. Very full of himself.
Which usually I like a solid piece to remain with like a young core guy to serve as like another good piece to have, like an older guy. But I don't know if Lou Dort. I didn't like him on the Thunder team.
Look, this is my hot take of the day.
Okay, I'm ready.
Day.
I'm ready. Presented by who? Kombucha.
By kombucha, by 10 dogs,
by Xavier Moon.
Yeah, for sure. The Oklahoma City Thunder are making.
Don't say it. Do not. Come on.
You don't even know what I'm about to say.
Are making the what?
The first round of the playoffs. I'm just saying that now.
They're not making the play.
They are my dark horse.
Not making
out
the
of
play.
the West.
Not making the play.
Shea is ready to win. This is his year. He's got to.
Everybody ready to win. Look, Shai is developing though.
He's an all-star.
He has to
What
be
else
the
does he have to develop?
He has to be the bus driver.
He is the bus driver.
He is the bus driver. He cannot be the bus driver on a playoff team. He is not that good.
I think he's that good.
Not that good.
He's got like 90.
Give it 4 years with all their first round picks. Sure, they can be title contenders as far as I'm concerned with all the first round picks. But this year, I don't take them to the playoffs. They're just too unproven. They're too new.
I see it. I see it, man.
They did extend Kenrich Williams. You like that? I don't like that.
Sure.
You got a lot of thoughts on Kendrick Williams? Why don't you expand on that? Elaborate.
I will elaborate. Kendrick Williams is a solid player. I mean, he's good for the bench. He's a good forward. I mean, there's not much you can really talk about him. I mean, look, the thing is, JaMychal Green is on Denver. You're losing a forward there. They've missed that. They missed it last year with JaMychal being on the Nuggets. There's a role that needs to be filled, and Kendrick Williams there. I mean, that's all you can really say. I mean, we don't have to put like 5 minutes talking about him.
Yeah, I don't know why we spent. Kendrick Williams, come to the pod.
Yeah, please.
Look, now we're moving on to the Phoenix Suns. Now, I got to admit, coming into this offseason, I thought that you and I would be sitting here in August talking about DeAndre Ayton as a pacer. but they matched the offer sheet put forth by the Pacers. So that was a big move. But I just don't know if DeAndre Ayton is that happy in Phoenix.
I think it was a great decision because they're going to get assets for him instead of just letting him walk. I think it's a great move. Great move by the Phoenix Suns.
I agree. But
again, not
but
happy. Not happy at all.
well, of course. But how good do you think he's going to be this year? He's not going to be an all-star.
Yeah, I don't think he's me an all-star. I don't.
Top 5 center in the league?
No.
Really?
Nope. No way.
I put him as a top 5 center in the league.
No way. There's no way.
Oh.
I think I don't think DeAndre Ayton. I think also he's gonna shift systems if he leaves. You don't know, like, again, systematic basketball. There's DeAndre Ayton is not going to be
Systematic
look,
basketball.
you gotta put it on a t-shirt. Like that's my spiel.
No.
Look.
No.
Okay. All right. You're being Hall of Fame negative right now, low key.
I like Monty Williams as a coach.
Yeah, I think he's one of the best coaches in the league.
I agree.
But
100%.
I'm glad he put DeAndre Ayton in his place. DeAndre Ayton has no business, walking out on the team like that. You know what I'm saying? In the playoffs, such a crucial moment. I'm so glad Monty Williams yelled at him. I'm glad he had talked to because DeAndre Ayton can't be the guy being like, it's not the right place to be a big sports guy being like I'm big shot, like the Billy Joel song Big Shot. You can't be that guy. You're not that guy, pal.
We also got to talk about the addition of Damian Lee.
Yeah, I mean, again,
He was quietly very good for the Warriors.
isn't he like Steph Curry's wife's something? Like he's
I
related to
don't
Steph.
know.
He's related. He's like the brother-in-law of Steph Curry.
So are we going to call him Steph Curry now?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Is he a point guard? Maybe.
Is Jimbo a point guard?
Maybe. I
Damn.
mean, look, we're talking about the greatest 6-man of all time coming out of Staten Island.
Jimbo's great. Look, I like the Suns this season. Where do you have the Suns going?
Look, if Aiden's there, Western Conference semis.
Because
Yeah.
then you have to cut one of the either you got to cut the Nuggets.
If Aiton there, yeah, I think the Suns are better than the Nuggets.
No.
That's my take.
No.
I think they're better than the Nuggets.
No, they're not.
Okay. All
Look,
right.
I love the Suns, and I like D Book as a player, not a person. I like D Book as a player. I don't see them better than a Jamal Murray and a Nikola Jokic. All right. Moving on.
You know.
The
Put it
Portland
as you will.
Trailblazers.
Yeah. I mean, you got Dame, big extension, $50 million a year. I mean, that's huge.
My boy's getting paid. And I talked about this on the Eastern Conference pod. I love Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
He is one of the greatest point guards of our generation, one of the greatest point guards the game's seen.
Look, I'm taking back my take. He is a point god.
Whoa.
What I was talking about. He is a point god.
He's a point guard.
He's a point god.
Is he as good as Damian Lee? Anyway,
We're talking about, Jordan and LeBron here. I mean, geez.
Dame is getting his bag. But Dame, you should have gone somewhere else, in my opinion. Should have
He's
gone.
been saying that for his whole career.
Because just
He's stuck in Portland.
as J.R. Smith said, you can't rot in Portland with that amount of talent. You got to go ring chase. Yeah, I respect loyalty, but at one point you got to be like, dude, this is not the environment that I'm going to win because this front office has failed me in getting good pieces. All they've done for him is just gotten rid of C.J. McCollum. Not smart.
You did bring in Jeremy Grant. That's pretty big. I mean, Jeremy Grant is
Yeah,
a good player.
they brought
He's
in
a
Jeremy Grant.
Good basketball player.
They got Josh Hart back in February. But the thing is, I just they also overpaid Simmons.
Look, I think there's not many guys who want to be in Portland, and they saw an opportunity for a growing guard in Anthony Simons. I think it was fine. I mean, it was big. It was a big bag. I mean, it was $25 million a year.
So was Nurkic.
Yeah, but again, there's not many guys who want to be in Portland. It's just not.
It's not a big market.
It's not a big market
and,
team.
and he's a solid center for them. Personally, bring back Ennis Freedom. You will get the chip.
That's what I'm saying. But the big question mark is Shaden Sharp going to be good? I mean,
I think he's going to be good.
he forgoed his college career just to train for the draft. We haven't seen him in a year. We didn't even see him play college basketball. And he was a lottery pick. I'm not sure. I do think Shaedon Sharpe is going to be a great player. Don't get me wrong, but I can't be too sure about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have the Blazers getting bounced in the first round.
I see them making the plan.
Making plan.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's not where Dame should be with that amount of talent.
Look, again, we're talking about ideal situations and what might happen. I think ideal situation, everything goes right. Dame's having a great season. We see them making the plan, winning, and getting bounced the first round. That's an ideal situation. But if we're talking about realistic, in my opinion, I see them making the plan and getting bounced. That's mine.
Moving on to the Sacramento Kings. Thoughts on the Sacramento Kings?
Keegan Murray, I think, he balled out in the summer league, which I mean
MVP. By the way, Cam Thomas should have won MVP for the second time in a row. Keegan Murray had no place winning MVP. No place.
Look, I don't like Keegan Murray's player.
No.
In Iowa, I thought March Madness, he played too soft. And that just might be a couple games. He's just too soft of a player. And I think, look, Keegan Murray can definitely improve. He's playing with, a building franchise in Sacramento. I don't know. Like, again, not a big market team in Sacramento.
Nobody wants to be in Sacramento. If
Yeah.
you don't want to be in Portland, you definitely don't want to be in Sacramento.
Look,
Taxes are too bad.
yeah. I mean, do I pick him over Jaden Ivey? No.
No,
But,
absolutely not.
if you're talking forwards, you got rid of Marvin Bagley to Pistons. I mean, you need a forward, first of all. And look, I mean, he was maybe the pick. I mean,
they got another guard in Malik Monk.
we're talking about forwards, talking about small forward, power forward.
No, I know. I'm just saying, added another guard, Burke.
I mean, look, to be honest, Sacramento needs everything. So if Malik Monk's be playing power
It's the
forward,
endless
we
rebuild.
might see it.
It's the endless rebuild.
They've been rebuilding their whole entire time they've been in the NBA. But Kevin Hurt is also a good pick. I like him being in Sac. I mean, Sacktown.
No, I agree.
But I mean, De'Aaron Fox, Davion Mitchell, that's a good pairing. They're two really athletic guards, really quick. More Davion Mitchell is more of a a defensive guard, while De'Aaron Fox is a very good defender, but he also can attack the basket really well. But I don't really know where to put the Kings. I don't see them making the playoffs.
I agree.
I'm not sure. I can't. To be completely honest, I can't put a mark on where the Kings are going to be this.
They gotta make some money
playoffs.
moves next season.
They got to splash the cash. They really do.
I agree. Moving on to the San Antonio Spurs. So, we remember how much I talked about that DeJounte Murray trade in the last episode.
Yeah.
I kind of honestly, I like what San Antonio stands now, because as great as DeJounte Murray was as an individual player, as the dude on that team, what was it? Was it 4 first rounders and 1 pick swap?
Like that. Yeah.
That's just a good amount to build on a future. 4 first round picks. Look, we're not seeing, the Spurs all of a sudden becoming.
I think it was 3.
Sorry.
I think it was 3.
Okay. Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
You're right. But that's a solid amount of picks.
For sure. And especially we're talking about cap. That's a lot of cap space.
A lot of cap space that they're clearing out for DeJounte Murray, who was good, but he wasn't getting them to where they wanted to be.
So
So
sure,
next season, I think they can make a lot of money moves. I think that they can really pick up some real stars. But I think that if you're the Spurs, you just want to return to where you were 10 years ago. I mean, a team.
I mean, anyone does.
Everybody does. But just good team players. That's what got them to the finals.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think Jeremy Sohan is
Yep.
one of the best guys in the draft. I'm saying
Yep.
that now. He's one of the best dudes in the draft. He's so athletic. Malachi Branham's great also. But look, I think Keldon Johnson's also a good player. But look, the Spurs need a guard. They need a guard. They
Okay,
need a
but-
replacement. They need a replacement.
But when they got all that cap space from the DeJounte Murray, you know who people were saying they should add?
Russ?
Russ.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. I mean,
I think you add a young guard.
I think they draft. They just go to the draft. I mean,
What about Donovan Mitchell?
they don't have. I don't think that's. I don't know. I just don't know if I don't know if Donovan wants to go to the Spurs.
Oh, I don't think he wants to go to the Spurs. I agree, but just it would
because he
be
doesn't want to be in
interesting.
the Jazz. I mean, talk about bad market, like little market teams. I mean, like the Spurs.
All I'm saying is, in case the Spurs want to make a last minute trade, you've got picks, you've got cap space, you have assets. I think you can make a move for Donovan Mitchell,
You
and we're
definitely
talking.
could. You
Yeah.
definitely could.
Right.
But realistically, Colin, I have a question for you. How long until Popovich retires?
I love Pop, man.
But we're being realistic here.
I give him 2, max 3 more seasons.
That's kind of what that's the bread and butter of the. That's why you want to go to the Spurs. I mean, if you had any interest in living in San Antonio, that's kind of the reason you want to.
But if you're a young guard,
Yeah.
if you're a young guard with a lot of future to work with, I would hate for Pop to retire. But doesn't that also kind of signal like a new kind of
New wave.
a new age?
Yeah, I think De'Aaron Fox could be a Spur.
De'Aaron Fox.
That could be interesting.
That could be interesting. I'll hear that out.
Because he's not like a really cocky dude. He's not like him. He's not him. So I think, look, De'Aaron Fox would be perfect in that, in my opinion. Perfect. It's not like the Spurs are a super 3-point shooting kind of like squad.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'd be perfect for De'Aaron Fox. So
I agree.
I'm not sure. You know,
I agree.
I think the Spurs, you know, with the coaching of Pop, Mike, I'm really not sure about the Spurs either.
I
To be
agree.
completely honest. Where would you put them?
I'm gonna put them just missing the play-in this season.
Play-in?
The play-in.
I think they're making the play-in.
They're not gonna make the play-in. Just barely. This is gonna be a rebuild season for them, but that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think Popovich wants to rebuild, and I don't think that's really in him.
He doesn't have the time to rebuild anymore.
So that's what I'm saying. I think he wants to win games, so I'm not sure. But moving on to one of the most exciting teams, the Utah Jazz.
Exciting?
The offseason was super exciting.
I mean, they lost Royce O'Neal. Where do they go from here?
I mean, look, Royce has that dog in him.
Wait a minute. You were hating on Royce last episode.
Yeah, but he still has the dog in him.
Did he text you
Sauce
saying
me?
he wanted to be on the pod?
Sauce me?
Okay. Did Royce text you saying he wanted to be on the podcast? Because you're very positive on him now.
No, he did not.
Okay.
But if you do, let me know.
Royce, you.
But as we talked before, Rudy Gobert. He was one of the dudes. I mean, him and Don were the reason the Jazz were successful, I guess. I mean, they made the playoffs. I mean, I call making the playoffs a success for Utah.
Absolutely.
And look, they couldn't get over the hump, first of all. So I think Rudy was great. Rudy, because I don't like Rudy at all. Like, I don't like Rudy. He's not a good.
Okay,
You know.
but quickly, what did you think about the assets that they got back in turn for Rudy?
Yeah, the picks. I mean, I like it. I mean,
They got P. Bev.
look,
I agree. Look, the picks are a good thing. Rudy Gobert was going to be a cancer for them one way or another. If I'm the Utah now, though, I don't see a lot of future with Donovan just on his own, kind of just like a lost soul. Blow it all up, rebuild.
yeah, but didn't Donovan kind of pull like Kevin Durant, or was either Rudy's gone or I'm gone? Kinda. I mean, it was kind of like he was using his player power.
Okay, I agree. But like, where do you go from here? Like, what did Donovan want? Like, are they really in a better position to build around Donovan now that Rudy's gone? Because that was still an elite duo in this league, and now he's gone. So maybe they didn't. I know they didn't like each other, but now that he's gone, I just don't know where the Jazz go from here. So I say deal Mitchell out. You already got assets from Rudy. You got assets from Rudy. Now you're going to get assets from Mitchell, wherever that is. Please don't be the Knicks. So
I got an answer. Bring back George Niang. That's the whole thing. That's all I gotta say. George Niang. He's the answer.
stop
He is the answer.
bringing up George Niang.
I saw this in a Barstool episode. He was on a Barstool episode, and apparently he has one of the highest raptors. I'm not sure what a raptor is.
Okay. I think that's a
But,
good place to cut it
Look,
off.
I'm just saying, to be honest, if I'm George Niang, as they said on that podcast, I'm going for the Mets. If you got the highest Raptor, one of the highest Raptors in the league, you got to put that in your.
Okay, look, I'll reiterate it. I think that the best move, the smartest move, building for the future. If I am the Jazz, is just to get a plethora of assets, back for the two stars you have, and just move from there.
Yeah, I mean, because they definitely could deal I just got a report yesterday saying Donovan Mitchell or the Jazz and the Knicks are back into
They're
trade
back in talks.
So,
but okay, the Knicks really have to blow it up to get Donovan Mitchell. We're talking about quickly. We're talking about RJ. We're talking about picks. We're talking about everything. So does that really?
Jericho Sims?
I don't know if you give up Jericho Sims or Alec Burks, according to Jack Nardis. I'll shout him out. Jack Nardis says that Alec Burks is the greatest fourth quarter player in the world, and Jack is delusional for that reason. But look,
isn't Alec Burks gone?
Is he?
Yeah, he's in Detroit now.
Oh God. Anyway, I don't know if either team is in a better position from a Donovan Mitchell trade, but I think the Jazz going forward is going to be very interesting. Anything else you want to add on the Jazz before we?
Not really. I mean, to be completely honest, not really. I mean, I see the Jazz. I mean, if they don't add anyone to Donovan, I don't see them making the play-in.
Of course.
I don't see them doing anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Clamp Podcast. It's always a pleasure. Please, if you have any questions or any topics you'd like us to address, please email us at theclampedpodcast@gmail.com. We would greatly appreciate any submissions, any tips, suggestions. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
All right. Thank you guys so much.